boys, would it really be a new season of Destiny 2 without server issues? I mean, probably not. And with these server issues, I obviously can't get into the game, but there is one thing I can do. And speak of the devil, would you look at that? Destiny 2 servers are not available. Yeah, that is nothing new. Anyways, though, since the servers are absolutely cooked, there is one thing we can do, and that is look at the weapons in the API, because we can already see all of the new perk pools updated on Destiny Gunsmith, which is always really nice to see. And one of the fan favorites came back this season, obviously being Spare Rations, and we're going to break down the God roll for this and a few of the other Gambit weapons. Now, I gotta say, if you are a Spare Rations enjoyer, this does not look very promising. I mean, just looking at this perk pool on the screen, that is not good. That is not good in the slightest. I mean, we're missing a lot of key perks that it used to have. But, I mean, there's still gonna be a God roll in here, so I'll let you guys know what I think. So for the barrel, I am gonna recommend Hammer Forged Rifling because this gun absolutely needs it. I mean, the range is default 36. They didn't give this gun a stat update, which in my opinion is mind-blowing. I mean, maybe they have something in store, but obviously these stats for a 140, really terrible. So you're going to want to go with Hammer Forge to get the extra range, which normally I would like small bore because I think it's a better balance, but you don't want to be having 43 range in your hand cannon. That is not even usable. And then in the magazine slot, you are not going to want to go with extended mag for any reason. I know it gives you AE, but listen, this gun already has a 13-round magazine. That is the big thing with Spare, that 13-round mag absolutely carries. So don't go with any magazine perk because you're not going to need it. I think really right here, it's a no-brainer. You pretty much have to go with ricochets because, well, this gun has 47 stability. And if you don't get more, the gun is not going to be feeling very good. And obviously, it still is a 140 RPM. So, the combination of Hammer Forge and ricochets gets us to 51 range and 57 stability, which is not great, but it's definitely better than nothing. And then for the perks in the left column, we have Subsistence. That is absolutely disgusting. Snapshot, which is pretty good. Rapid Hit, solid perk. Slide Shot, really good. Moving Target, and then Offhand Strike. Now, off rip, just do not use Offhand Strike. This perk is terrible. Really, in this slot, I would mainly suggest Slide Shot. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like this perk as it changes the feel of your gun, but if you get used to it, I mean, you're kind of going to have to use this because, I mean, like I said, the stats are just terrible. So you really need the extra 20 range, 20 stability, because every time you slide, you're going to have 71 range, 77 stability, and you're going to get that partial reload, which is really nice. So I think you guys, if you don't like Slide Shot, you're just going to have to get used to it on this gun because, I mean, Rapid Hit, Snap, those are good perks and everything, but you already have super high handling, so you don't really need that. But, and I guess Rapid Hit's fine, but Slide Shot, it pretty much does the same thing without having to hit a single shot, so kind of a no-brainer. Like I said, though, I know some people absolutely despise Slide Shot, and if you are one of those people like me, Moving Target is probably going to be the next best thing, albeit, like I said, Slide Shot is blowing everything in this left column out of the water. In the right perk column, we have Focused Fury, Kill Clip, Swashbuckler, Kinetic Tremors, Opening Shots, and Vorpal Weapon. Now, I gotta say, this is not great. This is really not great because we obviously don't have anything like Explosive because we have High Cals and Ricochets. And even if we did have Rangefinder is not really gonna matter that much anymore next season because it doesn't boost your range, right? So if you really want extra range in your gun, Kill Clip is going to be the move since every time you do get a kill, you obviously get a lot more range. But other than that, I mean, Swashbuckler for 2 head 1 bodies after 1 kill, or I guess Opening Shots. I mean, we'll see Kinetic Tremors. If this activates in like 3 hand cannon shots, this will be really good, but I highly doubt that's how that works in PvP. So, like I said, I mean, Spare, it's not really looking the greatest. Oh yeah, and I guess this origin trait is Disaster Plan. It says picking up ammunition increases his weapon's flinch resistance and range, which lasts until it's fired again. I don't know if that's only for 1 shot or what. If that's only for 1 shot, that is absolutely terrible. But if it's like a timer, that might not be too bad. But like I said, God roll for Spare Rations, probably Hammer Forged, Ricochet, Slide Shot, Opening, and then a Range Masterwork. Or I guess if you really want that range, Full Bore is an option, but be aware the stats do tank quite a bit. So overall though, Spare Rations, it's kind of a disappointment. I really do not like this perk pool, and this season it's not going to be good. After the rangefinder nerf, it should benefit quite a bit, but I wouldn't be stressing too much if you aren't able to get a God Roll Spare, because Bungie kind of slaughtered this gun. I'm not going to cap. And I know I might get some hate for saying Spare isn't going to be that good anymore, but here's the thing. When you look at Spare, like we just said, the stats are really lackluster. They're not very good. And when you compare them to something like Rose also has very terrible stats for a 140 hand cannon, but what Rose has is lightweight frame. Bungie really could have, they could have avoided everything with Spare. They could have given it the worst perk pool in the game. If it had lightweight frame, it would still be, a solid hand cannon, but not being a lightweight and having really bad stats, I don't really see why you would ever want to use something like Spare Rations over Rose. I really don't, because you're looking at about one more range and, about the same stability. I guess Spare has a little bit more handling, but obviously you could craft Rose a little bit differently as well than I did right here. But, even then, Rose has explosive payload as well. Spare does not have any payload perk, so it's not going to have something to boost the range, after the rangefinder nerf. So, like I said, Spare, just compared to something like Rose, it really just does not stack up. Even when you compare it to an Adept Palindrome, obviously Pally does have the benefit of Adept mod, so that does help quite a bit, but, boys, just look at this. Are we serious? 85 range, 71 stability. Honestly, let's go small bore. Let's make it a little bit more fair. 82 range, 78 stability versus 61 range, 57 stability. And yes, if you add slide shot, that technically is 81 range, 77 stability, but that's still worse. That's still worse even after a slide. And then you got to factor in, on top of that too, Palindrome has Killing Wind, which is going to let you shoot from stupidly far away. And even after the rangefinder nerf, you're going to get additional stability, aim assist. Palindrome is just, it's going to be way, way better than Spare Rations. And the sad thing is, it doesn't even end there. I know Palindrome isn't the most fair comparison because it's not in the same slot. And, Rose has lightweight. So let's say that's not the most fair comparison. Well, still, if you go to Fatebringer, what are we doing out here, man? What are we doing? It's just, I don't know, man. I don't see Spare competing, just being completely honest. Obviously people are going to use it for, that nostalgic feel. It's one of the best feeling guns in the game, but like I said, Bungie, y'all could have just made this a lightweight frame and it would have been a lot better. Anyways, though, that's enough about Spare. Earlier this video, I did say I wanted to take a look at some of the other Gambit weapons, and technically I lied. I only really wanted to look at one other one, which is the Bug Out Bag. And this thing looks absolutely disgusting. They did not give this the Spare Rations treatment because this thing has 68 range plus Fragile Focus. If you guys didn't know, Fragile Focus, I don't remember if it got buffed this season or it's getting buffed next season, but it's going to last until your shield breaks now, rather than just taking damage. So while you have shield, this SMG would have 88 range for a lightweight SMG. And it also has 13 base zoom, and any weapon with under 14 zoom is actually getting a range buff with, the whole rework. So Bug Out Bag could be, it could be absolutely disgusting. I'm glad I took a look at this weapon. So I'm not gonna lie, if I were you guys, I'd just throw Spare Rations in the trash and go farm Bug Out Bag. It also has this perk right here, which I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought this perk stinked, but you throw a Tangle and you get increased damage. We'll have to see how good that is, because on certain strand builds, that could be absolutely disgusting, but I don't think it's going to be better than something like Fragile Focus. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be everything that I have for today's video. I hope you guys got some useful information out of it, and if you guys did enjoy it, it never hurts to hit that like button, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and subscribe for more. Anyways, it's been Gravely. Peace.